One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude. It's a podcast!
I'm Hellvis.
I'm Jizzy.
There's another guy here.
There is another guy here. What's up, man?
G'day.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
What should we call you?
My name?
Yeah, what is that?
The only thing anyone ever calls me.
Yeah, but what is that?
As far as I know.
That's a challenge
to my
to
face
give you
anyway.
a nickname by the end of this session.
Yeah, we could get there.
Nothing's stuck. You could give it a go.
I've heard this before. I've heard Hellvis told that nobody can nickname them, and that person has a nickname now.
Still gets that 20 years later.
The only thing that ever tried to stick was peein back in primary school. That was the best kind of the bullies could come up with. Peein.
I'm sure it was devastating at the time.
I didn't have any friendly nickname attempts.
Iron Maiden is right.
People who hated me.
Iron Maiden.
That's
a cool one though.
It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
It's supposed to be cool.
But he won't. Okay, so your name is Ian.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wait, and how do you say your last name?
How would you say it if you saw it?
Moir.
Yeah, both of those are right.
And are you Moirtallica?
Yeah, I guess if you could call that
Bro,
thing.
Moirtallica is one of the funniest
things I've ever heard.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that today. Actually, I just kind of parked it at one song. I launched an entire kind of band, and then just one song and kind of. I don't know. I thought maybe I'd do a follow-up, but
no, it's
kind
perfect.
of
You do all the presentation
Wonderful.
of a real sustainable band, but you just do the one song called "Unblock Me, Steve." Perfect.
You put more work into that than every other metalhead I know has ever put into any band.
You put more work into that than people who've released genuine, sincere albums.
Yeah, well, I think it's sadly, I think that's kind of the most attention I've got with any my creative output. It's the joke thing.
That's because we're saturated. We live in that one place now in time. Like before, when it was a band say Death, nobody had picked up a guitar and really sounded like that. So when that happened, everyone was like, you got to find out about this guy. There was a draw to that. But now every fellow that can buy the gear can make his own sound.
Yeah.
So everybody's listening to their own shit, and
Yeah, it's pretty futile making music at all. There's a supply and demand issue. No one needs any more fucking bands. We've got enough. 20 years ago, anymore is oh fuck, where am I going to find time for all these new genres that keep coming up every week? And there's fucking good ones. I love new music,
of course.
Man, there's not enough time
in my day.
or attention span. It's it can be exhausting trying to listen to a lot of things. You gotta get familiar to extract the goodness out of anything. You can't just I don't know. I feel like I listen to a lot of new music, but there's always just tons of shit that I'm just not.
You're good about
to.
that. I see you on social media sometimes going, everybody give me new music to listen to.
Yeah, and I'm a stubborn holdout for the art of the album, so I say recommend me an album, and then I get 150 comments from people who I've got in my sphere that are mostly through music connections, so it's really interesting kind of seeing what comes out. And then
it's been months working through it.
Yeah. Well, I never get through the full lists because there's always so fucking many, but I've had multiple times that a new favorite album has come out of that, or multiple favorite albums.
That.
Most of my favorite albums are probably from those threads actually, and it really helps to get out of the metal sphere as well, because when you start down the metal route, Spotify will start giving you more of the same shit, or whatever algorithm's kind of guiding your musical experience. It'll just be more of the same.
I hate Spotify for that. If I like a song or any genre and I put that on, the next one seems to be a weird copycat or so similar that I'm nah. And it just turns me off that original song that I liked that made me go on that journey.
I mean, sometimes it's cool. I do hear about new bands through Spotify, but this is just a real fucking nerdy thing about myself, where I was just fed up. I'm not gonna be dictated through Spotify. I want to use Spotify because of the convenience.
Yeah.
But I have set up myself a spreadsheet with these automations and Google Scripts and stuff, where it's a list of 2,600 albums and counting, and every week I'm adding to it, and every morning I get an email that gets like 12 random ones and emails it to me with links to the Spotify.
Sorry, did you describe this as kind of nerdy?
so because I hate
Bro,
the,
just a sec, I thought my missus was a bit of a nerd, bro, because she thought when she was younger, before I knew her, she thought Spotify would never catch on. So she wrote down all of her favourite songs.
Nice, she's got
And
them
she's
analog.
just got like a whole, like pages and pages of a 17-year-old girl's favourite music. Because she was just like, this will never catch on. Yeah, so there's the whole new level of that. So you set up a spreadsheet that emails you.
Yeah. Just it's so that I'm prompted because I want it to like dig up gems that I've forgotten about. Like I haven't heard this in 10 years, but Spotify's never going to do that. It's never going to like throw something at you that you completely forgot about or that you never got around to listening to. You know, I just put albums in there that I think I might want to get around to listening to that one day, and then every so often it'll like pop into the email with a link that I can just like click on and I'm like, okay, today I'm going to try that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, instead of just being prompted with like, what you listened to last week and stuff like it.
But it is randomized. It's like partly curated and partly randomized.
Yeah.
It's just the email comes from like yourself.
Yeah, it's just for convenience. It's just a convenience because then it's on my phone and an email comes up. I click on it. Links are there.
But it's a manageable amount of albums rather than 2,600 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm making fun of it, but it's pretty awesome, honestly.
Well, it's been going strong for like 2 years.
impressed.
I made it 2 years ago, and I still use it every day. It's the main way that I like use my like online music listening.
Your
Hell
own
yeah.
audio matrix.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucking awesome, bro. Fuck, there's a cunt out there sitting there going, bro, I get high and pick one of my records without looking.
That would be the cool version of that. That would be
the cool version of that.
Yeah. Having a wall full of,
bro.
That would be the life. I've just been fucking selling off my collection because that's how fucking broke I am at the moment.
Tough times.
Tough fucking times.
Sorry to hear that.
You might enjoy the next parts. We yell at the government for a bit every episode.
We do a bit of that.
And they've done some shit this week. Yeah. But what else do you get up, like, because you get up to a few things musically, like you got bands.
You're a busy man. You're doing the...
Way too much, man. Like, it's a problem. Like, actually, I think the amount of stuff I do is ruining my life. even though it's cool shit, like heaps of it. Yeah. Like, I'm doing it because I'm interested in it. I'm passionate about it. But, like...
It's cutting into my spreadsheet time.
No, it's just I don't even fucking know. I don't even have capacity or time to like step back and like look at why my life is so fucking out of control because I'm just always fucking busy and I'm always having to jump from one thing.
I don't have time for self-reflection.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't even answer the question of why my life, because I've got a job. Like if I was to like complain about my life, someone who's like actually on hard time, unemployed, or like got kids and stuff like that would be like, fuck you, because I don't have any legit reason to be as fucked as I am. But
no, that's not true, bro. God hates everyone. That's fine. Yeah, like,
well, I have done a lot to anger God, so
I get you, bro. No, I have heaps of times where like I live in this fucking big house, and there's times I'm like, oh, for fucking hell, stairs. And then my brain is like, now, you did used to live in the sheds. And I'm like, I remember
this has like insulation.
Yeah, I've been like a piece of shit musician with a mattress on the floor. Like, that's what I'll do with my guitar and amp in the corner and shit like that. And work your way up to wherever you get to, and you're still in that same like, fuck mode. And it's like, wait, stop. Nah. Actually, I can kind of chill out, but I get what you mean.
That's exactly what I've been like trying to do, and like trying to remind myself to do. Like look around and be like, actually, it's pretty sweet. Okay, yes, I'm fucking like stressed out and trying to figure out how to like for my life not to fall apart. But looking around, it's actually pretty good.
It's one of the, oh fuck, my life's falling apart. Bro, can I talk to you for a second? And the bro's like, hang on, man, my life's falling apart. And it's like, oh sweet. Oh no, yeah, I'm par for the course right now. Everybody's having a struggle street.
Yeah, it fucking seems that, I'm not paying any attention to what the government are doing or like any of the governments are doing because it's just... Please don't. I've been taking an intentional break since Trump got back in. I was like, I just have, if I invest any more of my...
Boy, I've got some news to share with you tonight, Mr. Moir.
Do you? Can you just like... warn me before that and I'll leave the room.
We can just tie it back into what we were talking about, which is that with the spreadsheets and stuff. Did you know RFK is starting an autism registry?
I know that he's interfering with autism stuff, but I don't know about the registry.
Yeah, so if you remember, I don't want to do the Nazi comparison right away, but I've started, so whatever. But back in the 30s, the Nazis did a census, and they used an IBM punch card system to do it.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that IBM got their start.
Yeah. So what they found was that there were a lot of people who were Jewish who didn't know they were Jewish, and they'd show up and go like, "Get on the fucking train," and they're like, "I'm not Jewish," and they go, "System says you are. Get on the fucking train," which is going to be interesting if you're rounding up people with autism. One, they love trains, so they'll probably just jump straight on. But also, you could just pick cunts that you don't like and go, "System says you're autistic. Get on the train."
Dude, and you know that the fellow that's organising it will be autistic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you're running a large, complicated system that involves trains, I want an autistic guy in there. Now, it would only matter about being on an autism registry if, say, for instance, a company popped up whose business model was collecting your DNA until they'd collected everybody's DNA and maxed out their consumer base, and then their only option was to sell that DNA. So only if like 2/3 of the whole country did that, then they'd really easily be able to set up an autism registry, you know? No, that totally happened. Like 23andMe and shit. Everybody's already given up their DNA.
Can you actually tell if someone's autistic from their DNA?
There are genetic markers for it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I looked that up specifically to talk about this, and apparently there are.
So you can get like a blood test and find out if you got autism.
Yeah. It's certainly, you can see.
Could they do that for ADHD too? Because I had to go visit a fucking psychiatrist for that and talk through it. It would have been so much easier.
Yeah.
The autism test is where they do one in your right arm and you sit there and you're like, and then they do one in your left arm, but they hold up a train and you're like, and that's how they know you're autistic. Yeah. Or they throw toothpicks on the ground.
What's the ADHD one?
The ADHD one.
Yeah, with the needles.
That's when they pull out 8 needles and then they just sweat the DNA out and you're like, got it. Because they'll freak out. They're being cornered. Right, ADHD is just fucking hunter mentality stuck in retard bodies.
Yeah, the explorer gene or something.
Just the fella that was always used to kill the deers.
Yeah.
Or the woolly mammoths or whatever. The fella that can see shit 400 meters away.
That's the guy who wants to know what's over that mountain ridge over there.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Everyone's like, we're fine here. He's like, I'm not. I have to go.
Yeah, bro. That's what ADHD is.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I am up on that fucking mountain ridge right now, and it's not good.
You've plugged your whole drum set up there.
And I'm fucking tired, and I want my mum.
Yeah, somehow made an album with the guys on the other side of the album. Because what bands are you in? How many?
I'm gonna say 3.
Because
we're not counting stupid things like Moirtallica.
Like ass blower.
Like glass blower.
Yeah. Oh shit! I might have mispronounced it.
Yeah.
But
I'd say
a bro
3.
that we had on this podcast. Did he go by his real name, or did we call him something funny?
He was amazing. I don't know why you're bringing this energy. Me and him got along wonderfully.
Yeah.
We were fist bumping and both like wrestling and shit.
Yes, it was.
It was
very touching. Well,
he described me as God's perfect man, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you like that.
What did he call you?
He has poor judgment. It doesn't matter what he called me.
He has great judgment. Moving on.
They're in a hardcore band. What would you call it?
What band? Who are you talking about?
Glassblower.
Who are you talking about?
Craig.
That entire interaction with Craig.
Yeah, sorry.
He just showed up and started ripping on him. And I was like,
what do you mean?
Great.
I didn't.
No. He started ripping on
me. Yeah,
and I was like, this is interesting. And then I brought up wrestling and he was like, really? Knuckles. And we got to the 3rd Knuckles before we realized he was getting pissed off because he wasn't getting any Knuckles.
All right.
Craig is like the nicest fucking guy to me when it's just me and him, and as soon as anybody else shows up, he calls me the F slur immediately.
When Craig walks into a room, he picks one person to pick on, one person to be super nice to, and then he'll swap it around next time to just throw you off.
He's a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
I thought he was wonderful.
Yeah, well, you would that time. Wait till next time.
I've met him heaps.
But it's grindcore, right? That band?
We're going to call it grindcore for now. Yeah. I think they used to call it hardcore.
Well, you guys went. You guys were on Metal Sucks for writing a 10-second song called "Murder Ben Shapiro." Is that right?
Yeah. I can't claim credit for that. I wasn't in the band at the time.
Oh, true. Yeah, you came a bit
I
later.
I wouldn't have allowed them to do such a violent titled
You
song.
wouldn't
to be
have?
honest.
That's very
They're lucky they got
principled
that
of
one
you.
in before I joined, because I wouldn't be having that at all.
No, you wrote wholesome songs like Unblock Me, Steve.
Yeah. I don't use my songs to threaten violence. I use my songs
You're
to
bringing
offer,
people together, bro.
to extend an olive branch and,
Try to connect.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, you'd write like, I want Ben Shapiro to live a healthy, even fulfilling life.
Yeah, and just to not hate minorities.
Minorities?
Is that a cancelable word?
Which minority?
Oh, okay. Is that an insensitive word now?
What, minorities?
No, you're
I don't
fine.
You
think so.
You looked at me like you're
Yeah,
fine.
No,
You're-
he just was like, when he gets excited about podcast topics,
I do get
his
excited.
eyes will change. Like, have you seen Finding Nemo when the shark smells blood? He's
No,
trying to be like
I'm-
a no fish guy, and then he smells blood, and his eyes do this weird shark thing.
I haven't seen Finding Nemo.
You should. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's big.
But he gets this weird look in his eye when he can do some damage. And when you said minorities, it's like leaving a pie on the
Clip
window.
that.
Yeah.
Clip that. He was thinking.
Well, no, is it? Whatever.
I'm glad that we've moved on from
Shiloh
that topic.
LaBeouf. Do you know about Shiloh LaBeouf?
Present
bro.
things that he's doing, or past things
No,
he's
no,
doing?
no,
No, about past
it's a
things.
blonde lady
Yeah, I thought you were
from the
meaning Buffy
US.
Hendricks.
No, not Buffy Hendricks. That's silly.
Yeah, Shiloh LaBeouf.
I think she's called.
Oh wait, that's a person. That's a different person than who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Shia LaBeouf from Transformers.
Yeah.
That's an
okay.
actor. I'm talking about Shiloh LaBeouf.
Is that intentional?
Shiloh,
That has
the,
she chosen a name to get confused with this other person? Because that sounds like
Maybe she has. Maybe she would do something dastardly, like mix up a name like that. But this Shiloh LaBeouf, there's video of her in the US with a guy like bailing her up on his phone, going like, "Did you just call that little girl the N-word?" And it's her going, "If she acts like one, I'm gonna call
It
her
was
one."
a little boy going through a diaper bag.
Yeah.
And she called him the N-word.
Yeah.
And then the guy pulls his phone out, starts saying, "Did you just say that?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "If he's going to act like one, I'll call him one."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Say it again." And she just fucking sort of goes off.
Triple hit, like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
well,
like that.
this is
This story gets worse.
now the news. It's news because they talk about the pendulum swing of like what's acceptable societally, and I say last year she would have lost her job as a waitress or whatever she does.
Bartender.
This year, within 24 hours, she had been crowdfunded $500,000 US.
No, no.
what's she actually famous for though?
No.
This.
Oh, well, okay.
So she got on video using the N-word at a kid, weird as, and then started a GoFundMe basically off, I can't remember the name of the website, but started a crowdsource thing being like, I
So
need to
help me
relocate
defend myself,
I need
'cause
to
they're coming for me.
I need to relocate
Yeah.
my family because we're all under threats and they're threatening this and they know where I live and I'm being doxxed and I need help and I don't know what to do. And so, what her first goal was 25 grand, and she hit that in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Then it changed to 50 grand.
Sure.
Then it changed to 100. Then she ended up making about $500,000 crowdsourced for calling a child the N-word.
Yes.
That's fucked.
And everyone's like, what the fuck? And any pushback is because, you can go now.
No, the thing to
Oh.
remember here is the entrepreneurial spirit of the Americans. I guarantee you there's 100 white ladies in parks calling kids the N-word right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess, how do I say this? Fuck. One of the reasons people are saying that this has happened is because of the black kid that stabbed...
Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah, the black kid at the track meet that
Yeah,
stabbed
yeah.
the white kid.
Yeah.
And it was teenagers being fuckwits.
Yeah, they
and
crowdfunded for that guy too.
yeah, and the black guy that stabbed the dude got $500,000 as well or some shit.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, he shouldn't be able to stab somebody and get all this money. But it happened. So now that this racist girl goes on a crowdsource and she got all that money, it's, well, what's the big, isn't that worse? How come he got money? This is bad, but that's worse, right? Like, and it's causing this stupid, like, a movable object versus a unstoppable force sort of argument of just, this is stupid. It's just anger versus anger for nothing. It's chessboard.
This is how the race war starts.
It really looks like it.
Man, they're just still flirting with it now. I think they could get there.
It always starts with flirting, doesn't it?
look
You know
at
what comes after
even-
flirting?
Bro,
Yeah.
Pakistan and India
Action.
having those two dudes at the line.
Oh my goodness! Now I've been seeing some footage of the conflict at the line.
I said that dance was weird.
Now, if you're to judge an army by hamstring flexibility, these
They
guys
win.
might fucking have it. It's crazy. So the main move seems to be plant your feet and then strut, but you, with a straight leg, touch like your knee to your forehead as you're walking. Are you about to, I thought you were going to pull the video up. It doesn't matter. But that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to see. Also, it's two nuclear powers exchanging direct fire, which I don't think has happened.
Not in a while.
until
The crowdfunding lady has nuclear weapons?
No, sorry, we've jumped a fence here.
No, we're talking about
Yeah.
India and Pakistan.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about that.
We were talking about that thing.
That
That's why I
lady who
said
called
we've
the girl
jumped
the
a fence
N-word.
here.
Because
Yeah.
that would be quite an escalation to the race war if
So when it
she
was,
suddenly-
you said it starts with flirting, and we instantly were like, oh, speaking of flirting before war, that's what's happening over there right
I
now.
don't think I was paying attention during that transition.
That's fine. We were pretty bad at it, so
I
don't
think
beat yourself up.
we know what each other mean, and
Yeah.
then forget that anybody else is doing anything.
They're alien to us.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I have ADHD. I think about other stuff sometimes. I think I don't know what I was thinking about, but it was
You're
something important.
Okay.
So
I do.
Did you see the differing shots happening so far between that India-Pakistan thing?
What do you mean?
Like, one of them shot down a plane, the other one
Yeah,
fucking...
some planes. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one shot down some more planes, so they shot down more, and now they're
Yeah.
just taking out each other's drones
No,
all the
they're,
time.
well, they're bombing each other's mosques and stuff. Well, one of them has mosques, and they're
the
getting
other one
bombed.
doesn't.
Listen,
and-
you've exceeded my quota of news for the entire year.
Oh, that's
that's
too
so
bad. We're
so-
only getting started.
Like we said, we're terrible journalists, and it'll float back here and go to all sorts. We'll probably end up yelling about some celebrity or a billionaire, bro. Billionaires get a lot of hate.
Watch out for that, bro. But so the reason India's attacking Pakistan is it was religious fundamentalist terrorists attacking.
Zipline guy.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
attacking tourists.
Yeah, so
So India's response has got it. Like, if you're trying to kill religious fundamentalists, they're probably going to be in the mosques. Like,
There's-
I'm not for blowing up mosques, but
Dude,
that's
this whole
probably,
thing's
probably
fucked
where
up,
the
bro.
guys are.
Dude, there's video of a guy on a zip line, like enjoying a zip line, and a terrorist attack happens below him. And you can just see people running, and he's just like smiling away.
Holy
It's
fuck, where is that?
In India.
Kashmir.
Kashmir, like Pakistan
they're-
contested India or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really have not been paying attention. And
Don't worry, we
Yeah, that's
only
gonna-
pay attention so we can do this weird shit on a Friday.
So I got
you might be ruining my entire weekend right now. I hope
Well
you know.
then listen up, Moir. Luigi, I have Luigi news.
Moirtallica's next song will be "Fuck, Shut Up." Dude.
I think you were doing okay. It might be more at me. Luigi Mangione, you know that guy?
Yes.
The
Okay.
CEO shooter,
So it came out.
alleged.
It came out this week that. So we talked already about how if you plan an assassination to make like a political statement and you're like smart enough to pull that off and then disappear, what you do after that is like. Just kind of wander aimlessly around the city carrying a backpack with a gun and a signed confession, right? So it turns out the gun that they found in his bag, they didn't find it in his bag at the scene. They searched his bag, turned the body camera off, drove the bag for 11 minutes to the police precinct, searched the bag again, and found the gun in the front pocket with the camera turned on. You see? That's pretty interesting.
Especially considering they're trying to kill that guy.
They are going to kill him.
Is he pleading not guilty? I kind of thought
He's
it
pled
was
not guilty.
like saying he didn't do it.
Yes, he's pled not guilty as in I didn't kill that guy. Yeah.
okay.
And they're charging him at the state level and the federal level to make double sure they can kill him.
He's already been hailed as the hero for doing it. I mean, is that going to change people's mind? If he didn't do it, like what happens to that? Do we still like him? Because
If he didn't do it,
yeah,
then no, I don't like him. No.
well, that's a bit stingy.
It's just some fuckboy, I don't care. Now, if he killed the CEO of Health United,
and then goes and votes not guilty. Do you see what you're doing here?
now, if he should say he's not guilty, like, fuck them. Fuck
He
the
should
government.
just lie.
Yeah, fuck the government.
You're
He
kicked
should-
out of our side.
Why?
Because you're corrupt.
That's not corrupt to say I didn't kill that guy. Fuck you. Prove I did it. No, I didn't do it. Prove I did it.
Okay. Fight
Yeah.
fire with fire. I'm here for it.
And it's yeah.
I get you.
So it's something that happens with planting evidence is the same thing that happens with cheating at sports. Is people do it because they believe they really deserve to win.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you got Luigi and like, well, he didn't have a gun and he didn't have a confession, but we fucking know he did it. So we'll
Yeah.
write the confession and we'll take care of the gun. And I think there's every likelihood that he did do it, but he's still being framed. I don't know.
I like that.
Chew on
idea.
that.
I like that idea. Yeah, I think he did do it.
Yeah,
but
that's
he's
possible.
being framed.
Yeah, maybe.
and that's why he should be getting off.
That's why he should go.
That's a very
prove he did it.
level-headed
Yeah.
conspiracy theory you've got there. I like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we like to double down, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the moon landing didn't happen, bro. Fucking prove there's a moon. Like, just get worse. It's actually an invisible satellite, bro, used to power the reptiles. Well, that's what David Icke reckoned.
Yeah. He's got all kinds of fanciful ideas.
Bro, that fella's so mad right now. He reckons everything he said is happening, and everyone's just like, dude.
He's said
Like,
it's his
there's a lot of
bullshit.
things he said that aren't happening.
His
I don't know if
bullshit's
anybody
gone
knows
mainstream.
that.
His shit's gone mainstream. Like, he used to be like the fringe fucking
He's
crackpot
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
and now he's
bro.
like,
he's,
now
he's
bro.
even fallen from grace in that
Everyone
capacity
knows who
now.
that guy is now.
Like, I love conspiracy bullshit.
Has he
bro.
alienated real conspiracy theorists now? And he's like,
They've alienated him.
Yeah,
he's
interesting.
like, no, like he doesn't count anymore, guy. Yeah, he's old.
Well, it's like all those gent bands that came out after Meshuggah, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
that's-
Meshuggah,
like,
bro.
he's-
Everyone should remember David Icke
Yeah.
as the Meshuggah of conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
Yeah, they hate him. He hates them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That's-
like, you are not like me. I'm the originator. My flavor is authentic.
Yeah.
Don't like your copycat bullshit.
And that's where
Cashing in on
that's
my
why
ideas.
Periphery was like, well, we found this African fella called Tosin.
That was not periphery.
Bulb wasn't Misha
Almost.
Mansell?
Almost.
I thought
Wait.
Animals as leaders?
Animals as
it
leaders.
was Tosin.
Tosin.
Yeah. What I was meaning was Periphery came out and Meshuggah were like, no, we're us. This is our thing. You're you. And Misha was like, well, this is my friend Tosin. And he produced Animals as Leaders. And it was like, well, now Gent is just a mainstream thing. There's kids out there that don't even know who Meshuggah is, but they like Gent.
That's
It's
disgusting.
hilarious. I had a kid ask me to teach him some. Yeah, this was 10 years ago in Masterton. I really like Gent. And I was like, oh, so what Meshuggah do you know? And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, wait on, what do you know? And he was telling me all these other bands that I'd never heard of. I was like, oh, that's weird that it's like fallen down, like what genres, I guess, do. You know, band comes out and establishes something, can't copy it, and it just becomes that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought of that.
Now, this isn't really news, but I did see a picture of Donald Trump photoshopped to be the Pope. Anybody see that picture?
I did.
It's a heck of a picture.
He posted it, and then the White House posted it.
Yeah, and then he
It's
was
like,
asked,
what the
and
fuck
then he
is
was
going on?
asked, like, "Hey, that upset a lot of people. What was the deal?" And his first response was, "What? They can't take a joke?" And I went, "Catholics? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Have you been inside a Catholic church? Nothing funny about it, man. Just pictures of tortured guys and shit. It's fucked."
True.
And then he goes, well, no one was offended. Everyone loved it. And actually, I had nothing to do with it. Like, I wasn't even part of it at all.
And then fuckers, he posted a photo of him the White House posted a photo of him jacked as
Yoked, bro.
with a red lightsaber.
Yeah.
For May the 4th.
Yes, and they said for May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you, happy Star Wars Day, whatever. So it's a picture of the leader of the largest literal empire in the world, and a caption that says, "He's not the empire. You, the reader, are the empire." If you read the tweet, it's fucking insane.
It's unhinged, bro.
It's like Trump is the Rebel Alliance, and you, people who don't like Trump, are the empire. Like, man, he's literally the head of a big empire. You photoshopped him with a bad guy's sword and
shit.
called me the empire. What's happening?
All that shit just washes over me now because I can't tell what's parody and what's real
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, bro.
I don't even know how. I'm just like, okay, I don't know how to feel about this. So
This might seem like it's peak backwards, but we're going to look back on this and think
it's
of it fondly, bro.
normal.
Do you remember Musk did this kind of shit with his Kaczynski posting? Do you remember that shit? When he's posting Industrial Society and its future? And pictures of Kaczynski and shit. Like, man, if Kaczynski was alive, there's not
No
a
way,
single
like you.
person... No, not that. No one in the world he'd want to kill before you. You would be his
Yeah, number
most
one.
fucking
Yeah,
killable
number
guy.
one op.
But that's very backwards. But I mean, looking back on it now, we're still
true.
ramping up, man.
This is still
we got
the
some
ascent.
we got some wild shit coming.
What is our time at?
Heaps, man. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know who Kaczynski is.
All right, I got a book for you. Hold on.
It's a podcast.
That's the stinger.
So do you play in Dark Divinity as well?
Yeah, like I'm the main
That's
dude.
your thing.
Yeah. I kind of
wait
like,
a minute then. So, because you got on metal sucks for your dick shirt, hey?
Yeah. So I
Fuck.
mean, I commissioned that and wrote that stupid
Bro,
fucking pun
you might
apology
be
thing.
responsible.
You gotta eat that
for-
mic a little bit.
You might
Get
be
it up there.
responsible for
Thank
all
you.
of the New Zealand metal stuff that I have enjoyed and gone and listened to because of the seeing it on Metal Sucks and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a couple of claim to fames, small ones like that.
You got I don't know if I should bring this up. I'm going to. You did that. Every metalhead would have seen it. That meme of Mr. Burns doing "See My Vest," but
The
it's
See
his
My
battle
Vest.
vest.
Yep. That went
was
that went
you.
viral as fuck. Yeah.
That's Moir.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I haven't done any funny shit for a long time. Like, I'd like to, but I just don't have fucking time
Too
anymore.
busy doing
like,
Too busy
serious
doing
stuff.
it.
yeah.
Awesome.
I haven't made a good meme in years, but yeah. So I still cling to those
bro.
those few moments. Yeah, metal sucks. Postings about various hilarious antics.
That's awesome.
But you do crazy shit. Like you're organizing a annual songwriting and producing retreat, right? Where a bunch of musicians go out the woods and
Yeah,
make a
Outland
bunch of
sessions.
stuff.
Yep, that's just a fucking unhinged fucking week of
That's-
just indulgent kind of creativity
It's
to
so much
take into
cooler
its
than
extreme.
memes, bro. Not as many people see it, but it's way fucking cooler.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking crazy experience, honestly. Like, people that come along, they don't quite know how fucking hectic it's going to be till they get there. It's kind of like the extreme of indulging in, just making music,
Yeah.
just fucking night and day, and also a hell of a lot of substances and benders and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's,
songwriters are pretty easy to wrangle.
in certain ways.
It's like
I'm kidding.
it's like the dream of fucking going off to a studio for to spend a long extended amount of time, it just absolutely immersing yourself in it, rather than little bits a week here, or a couple of hours here once a week or whatever. And
So do you just go there with is the intention just write a song or write 3 songs or?
So everyone who participates gets a song each that they're basically band leader of,
Sick.
and then you can be like, okay, I want you to play guitar and you to play drums and you to do vocals, and I'm gonna write this part and this part, and decide
And
on
everyone
the
puts
structure
your
and
shit
stuff.
together and stuff.
Yeah, so every person's kind of got equal,
Time.
and ability to collaborate, because every person that participates has
It
got
gives each person incentive to contribute to their band leader, knowing that when it's them, the other person will contribute the same.
Yeah, exactly.
level.
Yeah, but it's a real fucking unique experience.
Fuck, bro! It sounds amazing.
Yeah, and just the vibe and energy is just so much different than you even get. Even in good bands where everyone gets along, there's always that bit of fucking angst, that little bit of
Tension,
fucking tension, because it's
Grinding,
intermingled with everyone's fucking difficult lives. But it's it's a very rare thing where when you get there, you don't think about anything other than the music
song
that's
they're
happening
doing,
there
yeah.
for the whole fucking time. And
That's fucking cool, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What are they called again? Creative Zen Sessions, eh?
It's called Outland Sessions. Creative
Outland.
Zen is kind of like an umbrella kind of,
yeah.
It was-
I don't know,
As do you-
businessy kind of
as
It's
thing.
do
called Riverside to start with, though, right?
It was called Riverside when it was beside a river,
Yeah.
and then we got kicked out of the place that was beside a river.
To the
and
Outlands.
and then we got kicked out to the Outlands, and now we're out in
So-
the Outlands.
and-
But we're getting booted out of it. Well, that's probably the one that was this year. Was probably the last one because the venue's on the market, and I highly doubt that we're going to get offered the same arrangement, or even it's probably going to get fucking bowled over.
Do you have a
and
spot
subdivided.
light up for?
Nah.
Will you keep doing it?
Don't know. It's not a very financially feasible thing, and the deal that we were getting at Masters Hall and Pahia Tour, if we don't get something that they'll be extremely generous. I mean, it's kind of the place itself just happens to be all the conditions that we need, and we get offered exactly what we need. I just don't expect to be able to find that anywhere else unless we manage to get some creative NZ funding or something to have a higher budget so that we could pay for the amount of space.
Have you applied
we
for it
need.
before?
No, but that's in the
Pipeline?
plans for
I think that's viable. I think that's the kind of thing they might do.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this event this year was going to be special for some reason in the lead up to it, and I decided I want to make a fucking documentary about it. So I actually enlisted a mate of mine who's a filmmaker, and he came along and shot all this awesome footage. So we're kind of working on a documentary about the event and kind of the history of it and stuff.
Great
and
idea.
that was going to kind of form part of the part of an eventual application for Creative NZ funding.
Cool, bro. When I was way younger, like one of my favorite albums, and I still listen to, was when Roadrunner United.
Yep,
that's one of the All-Star
That's one of the things that inspired it. Roadrunner United and Desert Sessions with Josh Homme. Those are the main things that sparked the idea ages ago. But I loved Roadrunner United was awesome.
Fuck, that was cool. Bro, like I remember just starting out playing guitar hard out. Just getting into it hard out, not playing fast, just loving everything about it, and getting that album, and it came with a DVD where you got to watch them all in the studio, and that was life changing.
I found that amazing. I think what it really opened my eyes up to is that, because I think you kind of have an idea about fixed bands and the band is the band, and that's how they make music. But then you see these people just mix it up, and it's like, wow, it just sounds like you created something completely new in these pockets of you just can literally throw these guys in a room together and what's going to come out and you get this taster of all these bands that could be
I remember watching that, being big fans of everyone involved. And each person they brought in, it was more exciting to see them work with them.
And they were all excited too, because they were all working with people who weren't, they're not playing with and touring with throughout the year. So
they
it was
just get
seeing
full access to the Roadrunner roster. So anybody that's done a Roadrunner record, you can ask them to come on.
So every single person you're seeing on there was at the peak of their excitement and enthusiasm for music because of all the newness. Every single person was oh wow, I get to jam with this kind of that fucking drummer.
Watching dudes fanboy out over other fellas.
So it just had this energy right through it. It was just you were just excited to see
even
different combinations of music.
One of my favorite parts that made me get into other styles of music was watching is Mike Smith from Suffocation.
He was
a
good.
Producer just goofing off about blast beats. Just being
them.
Fuck, this is the guy, this is the dude. So you go away from the doco, just instantly, who the fuck is Suffocation? Play, what the fuck is this? And it's just open all these doors just from what, and it wasn't even the music, it was watching another dude be you better put some fucking respect on this fella, this is what he does, and you go away from it being better listen to that dude, holy hell. And it just opened door after door after door. That was real influential, that fucking those creative sessions. I like that idea of you doing it in was a Paya tour. Hard case.
But and it is amazing. That energy does happen when when you get local musicians together who are,
I can imagine it, dude. Just fucking lightning in a bottle, but you got 1,000 Zeuses, it probably makes it easy. I don't know, guys.
You have such a way with words, Hellvis.
Sometimes, bro, just
1,000 Zeuses. There's a doom metal band name.
Taken. It's power metal.
Nah, that's not taken. That's not taken.
Yeah. Well, fuck. We'll have to keep an eye out. Did this shit get posted on YouTube and stuff? Is there something?
What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Outland Sessions. No, there's nothing really up at the moment.
But a doco coming.
They're meant to be mixing all the stuff.
You do an
next
album
month.
every year, though, right?
Yep.
So previous year's albums will be out.
There's previous albums out.
Where can people find that?
Sessions. I don't know. Don't make me spell out a fucking URL, all right?
Is it a Bandcamp or YouTube, Spotify?
I don't think people should hear it.
All right,
fair enough.
Well,
we know that feel. We've got tons of those.
No, I don't know. I just don't want to suddenly go into promo mode. I just maybe once. Maybe if we had a new album.
I think
what
you
something.
do is intensely interesting. And, I've enjoyed listening to the Outland Sessions. I've blown away by a couple, really impressed generally, and blown away by a couple tunes I heard from there.
Yeah, there are some real standout ones, but the thing with it has always been there is no way to create a listenable album when you just let anyone do whatever the fuck they want, because people are so all over the place that you end up with songs that just...
Not everyone's as album focused as you, though.
Well, yeah.
If think about it, bro, some people still follow the Grateful Dead round. But it's, a sound in a jam can just hook people.
Yeah, but it's just so... It's even so all over the place, kind of tonally and
everything is all over the place these days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't found a way to like package it all. Like that actually, the best thing that can ever happen to an Outland Sessions song is when someone takes a track away and
builds it,
or uses it for one of their projects. And that's actually how Dark Divinity started.
Sick.
When it was still Riverside Sessions, it was like a song idea that I had, and Andy from Cripple Mr. Onion, and Alan from Destructotron, and Jake also from Destructotron jumped on it and made it sound fucking amazing. And then I was like, oh wow, I guess I can make a fucking band out of my ideas. And I actually used that single, that recording as the first single to launch the band.
Oh, that's fucking cool, bro.
So, yeah, that's where the real value in the event is. Like, I don't think we'll ever be able to make like a listenable album, but I think the documentary's gonna like the storytelling.
But if you do the doco, just do the doco and release the album too.
Yeah, totally.
Nerd out over it, bro.
Oh yeah.
People will watch. Like people get into so much weird shit these days that I think we all underestimate how much curiosity is out there.
Yeah. It's just I do everything so obsessively. So if I start taking an album seriously, then it
needs a spreadsheet, bro.
It needs a fucking spreadsheet, and it probably needs to be sectioned and like have small compilations of a few songs that kind of go together and like try and
the way
kind
we're
of
checking
create
for that nickname, just for people keeping score at home. Yep. I'm thinking of Excel, but keep going.
That's not bad.
See if you can make it stick.
No, I'll come up with more.
Oh, well, then it'll be hard to make any of them stick. That's maybe the problem.
I've got to pick one, and then I'll make that stick. I'll message you straight away.
Short list. All right.
I'm just impressed. I'm very impressed by that spreadsheet idea. But thinking of like having the logistical side, of, like I do that for like a living, like running deliveries and having to coordinate shit, and to try and think of getting a ton of musicians to one place and keeping them there. And having to try and think you have any influence on ways that they're gonna imbibe. They're just musos are gonna muso.
Yeah.
To try and run that whole thing with like Zoom cameras and Zoom meetings and webcams and all that other shit. That's just fucking huge. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it's all very chaotic. Like it probably comes across in like promo and stuff. You'd probably expect it to be like more professional than it is because it's fucking DIY. It's like a bunch of bedroom setups and a lot of fucking chaos. But we get the work done. But there's a lot of like fucking
bump and grind, dude.
There's a lot of making do with not what ideal. And that's part of the fun of it because like we're barely got enough to like scrape by and get the shit done. Barely got enough time. Barely got enough gear.
I reckon
and
if
whatever.
you want to get your creative funding, bro, just do it. But you're gonna do covers of New Zealand songs because you want the IRD music to change or something. The winds hold music.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can get Creative NZ funding for covers. Is that creative?
If you get it, fuck it, I'm gonna take 15 feral cunts and put them on a farm, and we're gonna cover the fucking winds music. They'll be interested.
You should have Hellvis write your pitch.
Nah, I'll just say it. You write it. I'm not going to do what you wrote, but... Yeah.
Dictated but not read. Hellvis Shridley.
Yeah. Cunts. Did you want to yell more about the news?
Maybe.
I know there's something in there.
What do you mean? You're not suggesting that the government repealed something under urgency, like all of a sudden? You wouldn't be saying
sort
something
of
like that.
Sort of like spending the kids' money on the weekend on beers, and then realizing if you take half your wife's wage, the kids can get what they need or what you promised them.
Yeah, bro. Didn't even spend it on beers. Just gave extra to the landlord for no reason.
Because you like him.
Yeah, you like him. You just want him to do well, bro.
Yeah.
Landlords had it too tough for too long, so they had to give them a bunch of money, so they didn't have money. Now, so the story is they reversed. They like redefined legislation that means that women who are currently due to be paid more on the basis that them having historically been paid less is sexist. So they've gone through the courts under the legal framework and proven under the law as it exists that they are getting paid less because they're women. Mm-hmm. And there are maybe 33 cases that have been judged in the favor of the women involved or are in progress. The government is projected to be able to save billions of dollars by, under urgency, changing the definitions of these laws, which means everybody starts from zero again. and it'll be much harder to prove that threshold.
How much extra money were these 33 women getting?
It's 33 groups of women. So, for instance, it'll be like one of the groups will be like all nurses, and the argument would be like, hey, we get less than our male equivalents. It's like a cross. It's seen as like a cross industries, so it'd be what's the male equivalent, like nurses versus garbage men or something. That's a terrible shout out to our nurse listeners.
You're on your fucking own, you terrible piece of shit.
It's retrospective legislation that they're passing under urgency. So that means what we say now applies 5 years ago when you guys went to court. Fuck you.
Yeah,
you get
you're
nothing.
Out. Yeah, those 33 groups.
Now, interesting. This saves the government billions of dollars, but it also saves it's probably going to save the private sector a fucking lot, like aged care and stuff. It's going to save them a lot of fucking money.
It fucks over,
What the fuck did I say?
I believe it was, hey ladies, just so you remember, once they're done with these LGBTQs, they're coming for you sluts. Those are your exact words. No, it wasn't.
I might have said cis or some other word that Twitter doesn't allow, right? I said as soon as these fucking trad dweebs are done with the rainbow folks, they're coming for you. You cis ladies, that you are going down. You are empowering your own fucking demise. That they've turned on the women. It happened way faster than I thought, but they've done it.
You did call that.
Yeah, I fucking called that. Erica Stanford is she's the one who's putting it forward, because you can't have a man come out and say, hey, we're reversing the legislation that lets women get paid the same as men, and we're doing it because we respect women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they had her do that. She championed the 2020 bill that set up the legal framework that they're now getting rid of. So it's more backwards shit. It's more Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. You woke motherfucker.
Also, they've also announced today that they're upping the threshold of payments for survivors of the State Care Report.
The threshold? What does that mean?
They're paying people more money back paying, and they're doing a lot of fixing on that one. They announced today that they're fixing that up and paying people more money and shit, and they're changing the parameters for what people were getting put through.
Doesn't that seem like a fucking work?
Totally.
When you do something really bad against a big segment of the population, and then be like, now these guys that we used to fuck over, we're going to give them a bit more money.
That's bro. It is punching you in the face and then giving you a foil. Like, it's like, how the fuck are you gonna? What? Wait.
Do people still do foils? I haven't seen a foil for years.
They do, bro. Yeah.
Where are they? Have you got any?
I ain't seen a foil.
I would take a phone number that I can give you later.
All right.
It's mine. Nah. Nah.
I have an incompetent government theory where if the Tories were running the government now and it was competent people who are available, like you could get competent people to be in government. They don't. Yeah. They've got like goofy slapdick, make it up as you go, like feckless,
clumsy
like
dickheads,
nothing behind the eyes, fucking doofuses. Is that on purpose? Because I think if you put in competent people, you can't justify them doing shit
bad
that looks
shit.
Incompetent.
Yeah.
But if you've got like dead-eyed doofuses, like,
that's
yeah,
fine.
Of course you fucked that up, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem as evil, where it's probably more evil.
There's an old joke, I can't remember who did it, about the presidency of America being a casting job.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we need a guy that
it's never been more true than right now.
Yeah, but I think the joke...
They got Pope Sith.
It's Patton Oswalt. That's who it is. And he says about, like, in the 90s, when they're like, we're going to put more arsenic in the water and tax people. Fuck. Get a cool southern guy who plays saxophone and likes blowjobs and cheeseburgers, like an everyman. And then Bill Clinton. And then it's like, fuck, okay, now we're going to do this 9/11 thing. Go after the oil. What about a Jesus cowboy?
Yeah,
that'd work. Hey, now we have like
give me a southern man.
Now we have ninja stealth drones that kill people and never need to land. And they're like, fuck, cool black guy. Now it's gonna get way fucking worse. And they're like, fuck it,
Trump, dead guy, Trump again.
Yeah. They'll never see it coming. Yeah. And I think that incompetent government theory, it's like, who do we put in front of them to then just do what was going to happen anyway?
I mean,
like,
that's one of Trump's tactics. I mean, it's very effective. Like, say so much wacky bullshit. I think he doesn't want people to know whether he's joking. It gives him plausible deniability to say and do anything, and then deny and pick and choose after the fact.
He said it before with the Star Wars picture. When they were like, what the hell? And he's like, hey, I didn't even have any... Oh, the Pope one.
The Pope one,
and he's like, I didn't even have anything to do with it.
What, they can't take a joke? I thought everyone loved it. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, you can see him go through the stages in a sentence of like...
He never has to commit to anything ever, and he can just change
people
on a
like him. People who like him have enough to
himself.
pick from, and people who dislike him
and
stumped.
he does that sometimes multiple times. Oh, no, I did mean that. Oh, and then he gets asked by someone else in a way that makes it look bad. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. That was just a joke. And then, no, it's not a joke again.
Yeah, bro. We used to not value that.
We used to
think that was fucked.
He's like a school class president. When I'm in, we're going to have 2 lunchtimes. Yeah. You know, and everyone just fucking...
Bro, did you hear that he was going to stop the Russia-Ukraine war on day 1? Yeah. And then last week he tweeted, Vladimir, stop!
Did he tweet?
He had this big long run, and at the end it had that.
What happened? Is he angry at Vlad?
Because he's trying to set up a ceasefire so he can get Ukrainian minerals or whatever. And... they're like, okay, we'll think about the ceasefire, and then they bombed like a very something they shouldn't have been doing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he tweeted out like, "This is a bad decision, Vladimir, stop."
Okay,
so
I do like that
ended it on
news.
day 1 in some ways, but in other ways, 4 months later, he's tweeting at him like a bitch.
Yeah,
please don't.
Bro, that new Pope.
Yeah, is he woke?
He's too woke enough. So the new Pope. Have we not?
God damn it! I knew we were going to get a DEI Pope.
Bro, apparently they chose this dude, and the first thing people did was go through his Twitter.
Yeah.
And very recently, he's like, "No, JD Vance, that is not being a Christian. No, Donald Trump, deporting immigrants is bad." And like, he's ripping them out. Yeah. And now all of the MAGA guys are like, you don't actually need a Pope. You can just believe in Jesus. It's like, no shit. This cult is so powerful. They are now like, gotta listen to the Pope, man.
Catholics do. Catholics do.
Yeah, bro, but these MAGA cunts who are all Jesus is, they're not happy, bro. This guy who comes from Chicago, and his name's like Provost, which I'm pretty sure is a bad guy in V for Vendetta.
It's a kind of cheese.
That's even funnier. But he's too woke, apparently. The MAGA red hats scream.
He's too woke.
He's too woke.
The only way that he can unwoke himself is to say he fucking loves Trump, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Because JD Vance was way too woke, but then he said he fucking loved Trump, and then he's fine. Do you know they made a 200-page dossier about him, like, before he made him vice president? Yeah. And it wasn't about who is he, what does he believe? It was, here's what he's previously said about Trump.
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck who he is. They care, like, can we work this with what he's previously said?
I reckon the dude who was like, Trump, let's get this JD Vance guy. Day 2, they're like, he fucked the couch. And everyone was like, did you fucking... Like, we just had the stuff he said about you. Sorry. Because what's his movie? Hillbilly Elegy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a strange one to have their front runner.
What's the fucking couch business?
JD Vance, the vice president, apparently.
How did that?
I talked about it one time.
Can we have a fact check on this, please?
Yeah.
Did he actually fuck a couch?
I don't think he did. I think he talked about something to do with it.
I don't know.
How it was like a things teenagers do or some shit about like putting
I feel like at one
couch.
point I knew the truth of this, but it was funnier to just imagine him as a couch fucker, and I've forgotten what was real and what wasn't.
Dude, that guy met the Pope and the Pope died. Fuck that guy. That's so funny. You're the most metal, black metal fella I know.
But is your first thought not, who else could he meet?
Yeah. Well, he went to India and then he left. Terrorist attack. Like,
well, where
in
are
the
we,
same mission.
Where can we get him to go?
Wellington.
Who's he getting in Wellington?
David Seymour. Just to see what happens. Dave seems like a critical guy, rational.
Yeah, he's a rational guy, I heard. Yeah.
That's all this is, superstitious nonsense.
Yeah. He's rational. He'll Snapchat you. He'll Snapchat your 14-year-old daughter that he can't come to their party, but he just hopes they have a good night.
National wants to kill social media for under 16s. I don't know how. But David Seymour was
you just
like,
make it illegal. You don't actually stop it. You just make it illegal.
You're already not meant to be on social media if you're under that age, aren't you?
Depends. It's different app to app.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Aussie has a like blanket thing where it's like no more if you're under 16.
No more tears.
What's that? No more tears. Yeah.
No more tears.
Aussie does
Zach
have that.
Wild the whole time.
Aussie does have that thing.
Hey, being a metal fan, what do you think of that last Sabbath concert?
Hate it.
Not
Oh, wait. Has it happened?
No, it's happening soon, I think.
Well, I'll make up my mind after it's happened.
I think it's interesting.
I
Ozzy
know,
gonna be
he's
on a
not-
chair.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, because he's not doing well, is he?
But they got like Slayer, Pantera, Metallica, fucking Gojira, all this.
I don't think
old-
I would want to see it, actually. Like,
I don't know if I'd sit there or pay for it to go to it, but I might watch the DVD or something or YouTube.
it might just be a bit sad. I mean, he was old enough when I saw him, like, fucking 12 years ago or something.
When she had opened for them?
Yeah, I guess.
I watched that.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure. It was like 13. Was there a 13 album or something?
Yep, that's the one.
That's the last time they came here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean,
I did have more fun. I went to the Dio one, where it was Heaven and Hell.
oh, that would have been sick.
Yeah, I went to that, and Down opened with
Fuck
Phil.
yeah.
So that
That would have
pretty
been
fun.
rad. Man, I would have
Yeah.
loved to see. Actually, yeah, that I would find that more exciting than seeing. Well, I mean, Dio's
the
dead.
conversation, so I'll just mime it to you while they talk.
Sorry.
It's a metal podcast now, but I'll ask you like visually.
Are we meant to keep talking?
I'm getting a no. So apparently JD Vance did not actually fuck a couch. It's
You
just
did,
it's just
though.
something that he talked about. Why would say I dry humped a couch?
That's what I said, though. He didn't actually fuck it. There's no footage or anything, but he said something about it.
No, in his own book, he
Yeah.
would have mentioned something about couch fucking, but not
Yeah.
that he fucked a couch. Is
Yeah,
that right?
and everyone took that as...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's a running meme, though.
He
a bit
did kill the
unfair
Pope,
on
though.
JD Vance,
That is,
isn't it?
That's 100% factual.
And we're just going to spread that rumor. Oh, I guess we have fact checked it now. So we're telling your audience that no, he didn't fuck a couch, and we want to.
He didn't. He didn't
No,
fuck a couch.
but
he
he did kill the Pope.
That's
He
true.
did kill the Pope.
That was weird. What's our time?
Shit. You know what? It's almost time for tunnel talk.
I think we have a break. Kick into some tunnels.
You got it.
Cheers.
I'm starting the audio.
Go.
I've already started it.
Is this new?
Every once in a while, some fool kid raised on stories of clouds and stars.
This is a rare one.
His head to go to the surf.
Sounds different.
It is different. I did a few versions of it. I don't always publish all my stingers. Like,
Feels easier.
That's
than
funny.
truth. Some pray for him. Light candles. Scratch their names on the wall.
I feel way better about my needlessly long stinger.
Me,
Is it?
I try to forget them.
patreon.com.
I learn long.
Slash
More
shut up,
quality
dude,
stuff
NZ.
like this.
There's only one refuge. The tunnels.
It's tunnel talk, It's tunnel talk, everybody.
so close.
Welcome to Tunnel Talk, everybody's favorite segment. Ian Moir had to go home. So, how do you say it?
We were
Moir.
both right.
It's more.
He answered nothing.
Okay. Ian,
I said Muir, you said Moir. And he was like, they're both of those.
Ian Amore has gone home, but we thank him very much for being on the show. If you want to find his music, good fucking luck, I guess, because he didn't want to.
very unbecoming of it.
But it's Tunnel Talk, everybody. The Caspian Sea. Technically, it's a lake bordered by like Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan and stuff. It's a salty inland lake. Like it just has no outlets, so the salt builds up. Not as salty as the sea, but it's drying up. And they have a solution for the Caspian Sea drying up. A tunnel, dude.
Underneath it?
A tunnel from the Black Sea all the way under Georgia and underneath Azerbaijan, a 10-meter diameter tunnel that links the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. And they reckon it won't need pumps because of the elevation difference, and they can just fill the Caspian Sea back up to a level where their ports and stuff work. So like it drying up is not that big of a deal, but all their infrastructure is based on the
They're
water
working.
being a certain level.
Yeah.
And there's so much damming and other stuff going on that
That's affecting
it's
it.
been gradually going down. They reckon if they dig this massive tunnel across 2 countries from one sea to the Caspian Sea, this inland salty lake, that they'll be able to bring it all back and keep using their own stuff. And they're starting a feasibility study for that. I thought that was a really interesting. I've never heard of a tunnel being used in that particular way, and I thought that was real interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
My one is so different.
Let's go.
What do we think about these animals that can tunnel naturally?
What about like rabbits and voles and such?
Moles and shit.
Moles, voles.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Giant sloths at one point.
Giant sloths back in the day, sure.
Bro, how long does a giant sloth take to dig his tunnel? Ages? Were they the
When we
same?
looked into it, it was generational.
Yeah,
Because they're going
that's
through
what-
hard rock.
But also for ages.
Yeah, yeah. The old ones weren't slow like that.
That's what I was meaning.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it seems weird we call them that. No, I kept seeing shit on like, have you seen what happens when people pour, like, I can't remember there's a chemical thing it's like silver or mercury or something that they pour into an anthill.
Yeah.
And then they pull the whole
Aluminium, maybe. It's something like that.
I
Some
don't
molten
know.
metal.
Yeah. And they get a whole cast of what the inside of it
It's
looks
real
like.
interesting. Brutal. Real
Fucking
interesting.
real interesting. Brutal. Like, fuck, getting Han Soloed.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. But I was cracking up, like, all these different animals have like this, it's like an intrinsic thing that they do, like it's like survival. And I was just buzzing out on like some of the scale of how like these little cunts will make stuff like rabbit warrens and shit.
Yeah.
I know that's what people say when a place is hard to navigate and shit like that, but it's just, I was just cracking up at it, like, because a cave, we don't really keep God's tunnels.
Sure,
Yeah, but animals that just need to do it, like, that's their whole buzz. I was like, that's fucking trippy. I don't know why.
Do you know how termites do it?
No,
So
really.
termites build like a mound and they tunnel all through the mound, but then they have like parts of the tunnel go close to the outside of the mound that they make, and depending on the temperature outside and the prevailing wind, they crack open holes in one side of the tunnel and the other side of the tunnel to create a cross breeze to make it the right temperature through all their tunnels for like making the larvae and stuff.
Pretty educated on termites, because of course,
No, it's tunnels, man. But also it's with
not from woodworking.
Nah, bro, like bioengineering, where you look to nature for solutions to human problems.
Yeah, true.
So like it costs a lot of energy and infrastructure to keep an
I
office
get that
building
now.
cool.
Yeah.
But if you wished to, maybe you could look at how termites do it. Like,
I
could we
understand.
just build it that way and save heaps of resources? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I did fuck all on that because I was too busy watching shit about tunnels done by animals. Snakes and shit.
Snakes, tunneling snakes.
Yeah.
You got tunneling snakes?
Just like they find them and they eat the rabbits and then they live in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Pretty-
technically tunnelers.
No, that's what I mean. It was just watching all this weird David Attenborough shit. Yeah. I don't know why. Just got bored and put it on.
Just getting into it.
Sometimes it's just real cool to watch that stuff, and I buzz out on like how I forget to question that with everything. Like, I look at it like a tiger and I'm just like, wait, what? Why? And then I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, what about like apples? Like, why does food come out of the ground? And I get real shroomy.
Bro, I watched this video recently about all the various creatures that live on the surface of water, because it has tension. So if you're light enough and your body's
just-
spread in a certain way, you can live on top
bro.
of it.
Yeah.
And like how all the physics works of how they propel themselves, and some of them can jump. And this one that stuck with me is it's one that's able to make itself jump off the surface of the water, and when it does, it grabs a little droplet of water and holds it to its thorax or whatever. And then when it lands, if it chooses to, it can land in such a way where that drop makes contact with the surface of the water and it doesn't bounce. So if it chooses not to use this little droplet, it can bounce and keep going. But if it wants to stop, it lands with this little droplet first, and the surface tension makes it stick and boing and stays on the surface of the water.
Fuck me.
It's not a tunnel.
At this point, I don't care. Buzzy shit rules. Tunnels was just the first cranker.
Sure was. Has that been a podcast?
I think it has.
It's been a podcast.
I think the only other thing I had to add was I have to talk to heaps of flash cunts soon, and that's going to be interesting.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to tease it at all?
I thought that was it. Do I need to do more?
No, let's preserve the mystery.
Talking to some people. Rubbing shoulders and slapping backs.
Slapping balls. Rucking
Fuck, if I get to do some docking.
You'll be stitching nuts.
If I get to do some docking, I'll send you a photo of like, who do you reckon it is? Because I don't know. It'll depend on the guy.
Jonah Lomu.
Would I dock with Jonah Lomu?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the picture.
I think it'd have to take all of the people involved with the Shut Up Dude podcast to dock with Jonah Lomu.
There's digging involved, unfortunately. This is in very poor taste. You know what?
You're a fucking ratchet cunt sometimes.
It's been tunnel talk, everybody. It's been tunnel talk.
Good night.
Good night. I don't want to hear the segments prior. I just want to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire. An underground tube, the dank and the